before you moved into the van life? What was your job before that?
A graphic designer.
I ran boutique hotels and guest ranches and kind of hospitality industry for years.
Owned a salon, did my own hours, tattoos, crazy hair.
Hi, I'm Reighan. Ever since I was a little girl, I've questioned why our society structures its achievements around a life of working endlessly to buy nice things. I have always felt human connection to be most important in my life, but I feel as though the world around me is losing sight of this. Since I'll be graduating from college soon, I wanted to make this documentary as an effort to reconnect with the lives of people whose freedoms reflect their choice to live simply. Along the way, I hope to find some answers for myself, but also for other people who have dreamt about a life that feels free.
I graduated from TMCC in 2015 with a degree in graphic communications, and then I went and worked at a company called White Rabbit, and it's like an agency, but we develop apps, websites. Living that rat race lifestyle, you know, it's like high stress, high pressure, and then they fired like almost the entire team kind of like out of the blue. I put a shit ton of hours into it, you know,
Right.
and my life and my effort, you know. So it just like threw me off. Plus I was going through a divorce, and I got really sick. So this was January of this year. I have chronic pain. I have 3 bulging discs in my back, and I've taken oxycodone for like over 10 years, you know. And it's bad. It's bad. It made me super, super, super like angry and moody and just like always frustrated. My job, like I also lost out on some significant money. So like I was coming to a point where all my medicine was running out, and I didn't have enough to pay for it. And I didn't have health insurance because they didn't offer it.
A former salon owner, Wendy now lives here along the river.
I made great money, but I wasn't money driven, and I did great because it wasn't work, and I was so fortunate to have this like skill to do hair, and I was balling, and like I was so thankful for it. And okay, I've done that, now what? It's like what are you working for, so that you can have all this money to take your family here, but you don't have time to do it because you're working to pay for it? Whether they're shady or proper or, you know, do-gooders or not, they own who they are. They're not trying to be somebody else, not who someone else wants them to be. And like they're shady, okay, they own it. Fuck yeah, be yourself. Don't ever not be you. And I like the people out here better.
These are the stories that I found buried under society's interpretation of success of flashy cars and endless work weeks. These are the lives of people whose success is their own happiness.
It started from, I need to get a van, so if I need to move out in one day, I could literally take all my stuff and be able to fit it in one area and have it with me. You know, that's where it started. That's where the whole thing started. So this part is like, all right, I'm gonna do it my way now. I'm gonna do what I want, you know? Like, I've worked when I want to now, you know? Have I put myself in a position where I am frequently like, there's 2 weeks left in the month and I have $48. What am I gonna do? Yeah, it's a choice, you know? It is stressful, but it's also like I'm learning to peel away that stress because I spent 30 plus years of my life in that mindset where like, if you don't have any money in your bank, you're worthless. You don't have anything to offer. You can't go do anything. You can't see anything. Man, that's heavy.
I had a hysterectomy, and it's like this scar tissue that grows over all your organs, and then it scars, and then it kind of pulls like when you get cramps, but it's like that all the time, and it sucked. And I begged and pleaded, and at 32, I finally got one. And the hormone thing, I had bad reaction to all the hormones. It jacked my shit. Like I'm like sobbing, like, well, I don't know, I'm crying, you know. And I was just like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like one day, I got my son, everything was beautiful, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore.
When you step out of a van and someone can see in there and see your bed, there's just a negative connotation to it. It's like, no, I'm choosing. I actually want to do that. It's different if you step out of your van and you're wearing like sandals and shorts and like a ratty t-shirt and your hair is really messed up, you know, like that's a different look versus like when I jump out of my van and I'm like all dressed and I have my backpack on and I look like, yeah, I look professional, like I'm ready to go.
Wendy had to move to a new camp the day after I spoke with her. She and her boyfriend Ron had to move their belongings on their bikes after police forced them to leave. We met her a few miles up the river at their new site, where I found myself intrigued with the new home they had made for themselves.
So it's like, even though I don't like it and it's scary at nighttime and all that, it's like, it's safe, so. And then you find out who your real friends are because they'll still come all the way the hell out here to see you. You know, and I have this thing where my camp is always a camp that's, you know, safe camp. I don't care if you have disagreements out there, you come here and you leave it at the door because that way everybody can be cool here.
After I graduate, I know I want to live simply, with a small house that gives me the freedom to travel and make genuine relationships around the world. I believe in myself, but who I am conflicts with how expensive the cost of living can be. It is hard for me to comprehend the amount of money I have to make to manage all of these things while balancing what I feel my purpose is here. With that in mind, I asked Gypsy Wagon builder Jeff if he could show me what it takes to build a small portable home and who the people are that are interested in renting out these wagons.
For years and years, I ran boutique hotels and guest ranches and kind of hospitality industry for years. And I've been running a guest ranch up in one of the national parks nearby here recently. And I finished that up and I was sitting around trying to think, all right, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? And it was interesting because I was in this national park all summer long, so it was almost just like isolation. Then I came back to the city and I'm like, God, I just need a quiet place to go sit and think. And my neighbor had just had a gypsy wagon built. And I'm like, I need a gypsy wagon to go sit and think. And then I'm like, wait, everybody needs a place to go, a quiet space to go kind of sit and think and, you know, at their own discretion kind of thing. So I'm like, I'll build gypsy wagons. With running hotels and boutique hotels, you know, I kind of know what people really want when they're getting away, or I hope I do, you know, that's my theory. So we really tried to pack all that in and just get rid of all the extemporaneous stuff that you really don't need. So, you know, these, like each wagon, like, it sounds a little frou-frou-ish, but it's got a French press and a tea kettle, and a propane burner, so that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to go outside, just put the tea kettle on, make your cup of coffee, and, you know, come sit out on the back porch and have a cup of coffee in the morning.
So say somebody wanted to build one of these things, like just one for themselves, how much do you think it would cost if they did everything themselves?
Yeah, you know what, there's so many variables. Like, you know, I could have done this much less expensive. I could have gotten a used trailer, reclaimed lumber, and some of this stuff, which we try to do as much as we could, but I got to kind of balance it against, you know, I'm renting them out commercially speaking, so I have to get everything top of the line and safe as fast as I can. So what it cost me is probably more than the average person could build it for.
Jeff allows people to explore their desires for a simplified lifestyle without having to fully commit to one. He showed me that there's people from all walks of life who are also enticed by living simply, even if it's only a few times a year.
I've been a shit for my entire life, and it's because of I always tried to strive after the things that I thought I saw, which were through a weird lens anyway. But as soon as I gave that up and I said, you know what, I fuck this. Like, I cannot pretend to be this person anymore. You know, I am not good at being a husband. You know, like, I'm very selfish. Like, I need to scale back. I need to simplify. You know, I'd rather just work really hard and put out cool content and laugh together with people and you know, that's what I care. That's what worth is to me now.
What were you using hand sanitizer for again? I want to see
Sterno. It lights on fire.
Oh, but what were you putting it in?
Anything metal, like a metal tin or a bucket.
Okay. And does it last long? It burns slow.
Considering, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Did they have some? Oh, they didn't? Ow! Is that not working? No, I just can't. It's on the shovel, so the angle isn't. Oh, it's burning. It's not dark enough for you to see it. Well, the flame is really low, but feel how much heat comes off it.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that'll burn, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, but if you burn this and you're in the tent and you keep the tent closed, it's like you're almost sweating. So it's a good little, in a pinch, multi-purpose product.
Wow, that's a good tip. And it seems safe, like it's not gonna catch anything on.
Yeah, because it's jelly, so it'll go, it'll move like that, but
if it's flat.
Are those the dump trucks? Because we'll hear this City of Reno, like trash pickup trucks go by, but since all those people are down there, up there.
When they come, do you guys like stay quiet so they don't?
Yeah, because I call it loud rocks, because you can hear when they're on the path, you can hear the tires. It just sounds different, because I think it's the yard over there. But like when they came to the last spot where you guys were at, they came through and said, okay, you got to pack up now. And the bulldozers were right behind them to trash all the rest of the stuff and clean it and dump rocks.
Seth and Wendy are brave. I'm not afraid to admit the courage it must take to live off the grid the way these two do. Every day they face judgments, but they continue to fight for a life that brings them joy. There's no such thing as an easy life, but there is such thing as a happy life.
People get so hung up in their day-to-day activities that they lose that connection to the natural world. So when you are out in nature, I think you're more connected to art, to music, to any kind of those creative juices kind of come out more when you're in nature. So that my goal too is, like I say, I ran hotels and ranches and very high-end things for years and years and years. And I wanted something that my kids could be proud of and be a part of and be like, hey, you know what's really important in our lives, kids, is nature and art and beauty and travel. And I said, let's do that. Forget, $500 a night, boutique hotel and all that. I mean, we can provide similar amenities, but just do it in a meaningful, purposeful way that kind of adds to the world.
Wendy takes on opportunities when she can to spread awareness about homeless communities. I went with her and watched her speak at a documentary screening in Reno about homeless youth.
Everybody has a right to exist, and everybody should be able to sleep safely. Everybody's somebody, and everybody needs somebody, and a lot of people out there don't have somebody, and they're forgotten.
The truth is, freedom looks different for each and every one of us, and it is up to the individual self to decide what truly makes us happy. We all come from different upbringings which shape the expectations we have for ourselves and how we interpret the world around us. This means true freedom must come from within, and it's something we find through our own life experiences. These lifestyles may not be for everyone, but our community shouldn't make lives harder for those who choose a more simple route. Our world is one. We are all somebody, and we all equally deserve a happy life. Be you, be free, and follow the path that makes you feel most alive.